Hello everyone, welcome to this second entry in this video journal series about my current build in the Azure Gulf Sunset Harbor map in City Skylines. This first time-lapse shows the building last May of several new neighborhoods on the opposite side of the Gulf from the original gridded neighborhoods. Enjoy! Welcome back. So this is the finished version of what was being shown in the time lapse. The original Superblocks or gridded system was over here on this side of the Gulf. I think I finished these neighborhoods probably in May, late May, early June. Laid in these neighborhoods and the Central Park here. Completed a lot of the rail network. At some point, I added in some beachfront neighborhoods that are doubling as parks. I like to paint the park district over the houses. I think it helps with land value, and it makes for, I think, a more cooler, authentic scene. They were a lot of fun. Obviously, I have always done gridding, and I haven't done that much with low-density neighborhoods, so working on these were rewarding for me because I learned a lot more about the game. So this was the low density neighborhood. I think all these houses are 2 square houses or 2 squares deep, 2 tiles deep. This is going to sound really weird, but I actually like the monochromatic roofs on these vanilla houses. I think it looks kind of cool. Not quite sure what that is. And then in here, I was really trying to go for a very irregular appearance, and so I went with, instead of a straight grid, I took some of these streets at a diagonal so that the buildings aren't all cutting at the same angle. So I think this came out nicely. And then at some point in the future, I'll I'll talk more about this park, but this circular central park is doubling as a transit hub, and I'll go over that at some point, probably 1 or 2 videos from now. What I want to focus on today is, and before I focus on what I want to focus on today, this all in here is commercial, and so I've been trying to play with spacing to see if I can mitigate some of the noise issues. I don't know how successful I've been, but making heavy use of trees I think is important. I like the green personally, and hopefully it cuts down on some of the noise. And then we move from the commercial into more residential, and then to the tip of the peninsula where we have our airport, heavy tourist attraction center here, stadium here, and where I want to work today and maybe the next episode or two, I'm not sure, off camera. So it literally took me weeks to plant all of these trees, but when I first put down this suburb, it was quite barren, and I like how it's turned out. I don't know to what extent it's the best model for a suburb. This was one of my first attempts to kind of do organic layout and curvilinear. So I have these 4-lane major avenues that are kind of providing a backbone for a grid. But then, and I guess when I look at it, most of these neighborhood streets are pretty regular. There's not that much curving around with these neighborhoods, but I still think it turns out pretty well. Now, contrary to the other neighborhood across the Gulf, right over here, because these are all vanilla houses. Again, just like that other neighborhood on the other side, these are all vanilla houses. The ones we just left, these houses here are all the high efficiency or the self-sufficient greenhouses, and I think they make for a nice neighborhood in a kind of foresty zone. So this also, I'm biased, right? It's my city, so I think everything looks cool. And it's city Skylines, so everything looks cool anyways. But then again, I'm biased. But I think this came out pretty well. The services are well placed. Let's see, real quick. I think the only issue in this neighborhood is if I look at, there's some leisure and park influence that's not being felt out at this extreme block, but we're doing well in coverage of services, electricity, water, sewage, garbage processing. Little bit light out here, but that's okay for now. I could add some more services right out here, because there's some recycling centers that I want to move from downtown, so I could put one of those out here. Then we're doing all right on school coverage, elementary, high school. Look at that. So that's interesting. So this right here is not as well covered as it could be, but the houses are showing blue, so everybody's in school. And then university. So what's going to happen is, and I'm bouncing a little bit, but what's going to happen is I fill in all of these suburbs. This is all going to be low density. All of this is going to be low density sprawl. So this is all going to get filled in with residential and commercial, because that's the big need right now. I need some offices and industrial, but not that much. So this number keeps creeping up, the residential and the commercial. Now, part of that is because we're in a teeny bit of I'm not calling it a death wave, because I think population's been pretty stable. But so we've been pretty stable at 100, just above 100,000. We're now at 99.8. So we're swinging by about 300 to 400 sims every cycle. So I don't consider that a death wave, but that's part of why these bars have crept up. As my numbers start to tip back up toward 100,000, 101,000, my bars will flatten again. So good to go there. Happiness. Like I always struggle with commercial happiness, residential happiness. I mean, does anybody get 100% on that? And then I think office and industrial are doing just fine. At some point, I need to unpack ways to push this up above at least 80%. I've never heard anybody say that you could get commercial happiness up, but I like quixotic endeavors, so we shall try. Then healthcare, we're good, 98% average healthcare. I always look as a quick metric at average lifespan. If my Sims are living 85, 86 years, I'm doing fine. Death care is manageable. So I got to be ready to put some cemeteries in out here where I'm adding neighborhoods. And then density of houses. So I always look at the budget to see this, because you could see almost all of my residential houses are up at level 5. Almost all of my commercials at level 5. I still have some offices that haven't leveled up yet, but all of my industrials leveled up. So, I mean, here's the thing. One of my goals in this build is to get to the monuments, to put in the space elevator, to put in the Eden project. And I've watched videos and people just struggle because it throws their whole city out of whack, because so like my education issues I might have educational issues because I don't have 100% education, and that's okay. I always want to have a few uneducated people for the lower end jobs in the city. But like my city's doing pretty well from a metric standpoint. Traffic, 83. It's ranging between 83 and 86 depending on when I look at it. Sometimes it dips down to 82. So I'll be curious to see how all these new suburbs affect traffic. I don't know if you could do better than 22. I'm sure you could. I think I'm managing noise real well. I've had cities that were up around 56, 50, and that's just too much noise. Because I was trying to work with mixed-use development, and so then all your residential gets consumed by the noise and the commercial. Right now, we're running about close to 10 or 11% of the total population being moved with mass transit, so I'm really happy with that. I'm going to put in, I think I'm going to put in monorail as my main method for moving people and connecting these neighborhoods into the city. And then I'll have circular bus routes that connect to the monorail stations. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. But I might string, see, I don't want to have to mess around with trying to get past the rail. I've got a lot of underground rail for my industrial cargo rail network. That's part of why I want to look at the monorail. I could try to bring some metro out here, but I really don't think I need to. I think if I get monorail coverage and use buses to move people to the monorail stations, then we'll be good. Unemployment, 3%. Sometimes it dips to 2%. So we're in a good place. I've been trying to game plan what I should do next, if I should take this one district at a time. I've laid out several different districts because I want to play with different themes, and we'll just have to see what happens. I don't think I've named this district yet. I'm pretty sure I've named this one. And that's pretty much where we're at. This will fill out the city on this end. So I think maybe what I should do for the rest of this segment is focus on extending the monorail. Maybe I have monorail running from here over to this train station, and then it comes up to this monorail so that there's some overlap with I have an airport line that's running from the airport over to next to the rail station over to the other side of town, and then I've got another big line that's running from this end of the town over to this central traffic hub right in here. So, I mean, I'll have enough track laid that if I wanted, I could run a train all the way down. Well, wait, no, I can't. this is where this line ends. So these folks would get off and then get on this station or this metro station if they want to come all the way downtown. So I've been thinking about what are ways I can lay track in order to have, because what I like to do, I saw this on an ImperialJedi video. What I like to do is have two lines on a circular track running counter to each other. So one line goes clockwise and the other goes counterclockwise, and that way there's never any congestion because they don't overlap. And I can adjust pretty easily the number of cars that I put on the line in order to pick up people waiting. So let's see, this is not a terminal point, but this is, I think, where I could pick things up and bring the track. I think what I want to do is bring the track. I don't know. I could bring the track this way. See, the thing is, I'm also thinking about putting the science stations and a university up here, because people move into all these neighborhoods. I'm going to need to up my college game. So I think I want to put a university campus up here that's integrated with a residential neighborhood and more commercial. And also the observatory, the science center, and climate research up here, working towards some of those monuments. And then this will probably be another residential neighborhood also. Long-term planning here. So it's going to be an oblong circle maybe, because we're starting here. If I just work my way around the perimeter, because then I could have something peel off and go this way. If I work my way around the, but then I got to get it. Well, getting across the highway won't be that big of a deal. Working my way around the perimeter, maybe I can also fit a monorail station into this central business district also. So I'm going to try to bring monorail around the perimeter of this whole stretch. And that's what I'm going to work on. Okay, so I haven't put in water or electricity yet. That'll get filled in, obviously, as the neighborhoods build. But this is a big long loop. Some of it may look a little awkward, and I may do some modifications later. But essentially, this leaves us the option of extending a route all the way in toward the terminal stop, the terminal train. Sorry, the terminal station here. So sometimes I don't think it hurts to have routes that overlap. And my trains have high enough capacity that I can have that without overloading the track. So it's a huge loop. We're starting here and coming across the river, and then lots of work with the sloping tool to get it to look. And I may drop this. I think I should drop this road just a little bit. I'm not sure why it has jumped up like this. I don't remember. Come on. There we go. Now let me grab this one. Oh, nope. That's not what I wanted. No, what I wanted was to grab that node and maybe can't take that node. I may not even be able to take that node. It'll mess up. Yeah, let's see what happens here. So I want to just drop this a little bit and then lift this back up. Oh, I see what's going on. Nope. Never mind. There's no point because the track is embedded on the road. I put the track on the road. So the road is what's determining. I mean, I could maybe bring, if I wanted to create more distance there, but looks like the cars are passing safely underneath. Anyway, so let's just hit Control Z and not do that. Okay. So it comes through here. This is going to be a neighborhood. This is looking a little whack here. Maybe I'll hide that with trees or something. Then lots of sloping tool to get it over the highway in a somewhat appealing fashion, or at least not unappealing. Then we come over here at some point. So we're paralleling the rail, and then we're going to cross the rail. We have a station here for this neighborhood. And then we're going to take this long trek up to where the science campus is going to be. I'm planning to put in the research, the observatory, the science center, and the climate research up here. And I want to try to get a university up here too, which I think would be cool. So having a central monorail station up here will be useful. And then this will be, I need to fix this a little bit. Maybe I just get rid of this road entirely, but this is jigging in a way that just looks weird. But I like to have nice gentle slopes as the trains come in. Then another suburb right here. So these two stops are, to an extent, serving this suburb. So I'll probably put another bus route through here somehow that connects this all together. And then station. This is all suburbs. This is all going to be low density suburbs. I'll use circular bus routes to connect the streets, the neighborhoods to the monorail stations. Then we come over here. Oh, I have to connect that. We come over here into this farming industry, and then I thought, I'm in the right place. I can actually bring this, because I have this train station here. I have a passenger train station right here. Oh, wow. 0 served last week. That's interesting. Now, let's see. Can I do this? This might be interesting because the train track is elevated. I may have created a huge mess for myself here. Let's see. Because it collides with the road also. And this is one of my important major thoroughfares. So I have to figure out how to connect these two, because I'm also worried it's not going to get across this. Yeah. It's got to go way up to get across. Oh, that's not going to be good. Slope too steep. Oh, lordy. So I have to figure this out. What I could do is just drop. See, I have the rail elevated over that road, but maybe I just drop the rail and bring the rail through the road. This road doesn't get that much traffic. So if we delete this, then and then what we can do is, if I extend that 6-lane road with the monorail on it. No, that's not what I want. I want the road with the monorail. And if we extend this, I'm going to have to go back in and check all of my traffic lights at some point. This should connect to that intersection there. All right, so now this is not going to be the prettiest curve. And of course I'm doing this with the game unpaused. Oh, come on. I keep doing that. I'm doing this with the game unpaused. So now I've just severed one of my rail lines, and that'll have to reestablish itself. So we've got that going right there. And then if I come back here, see, I don't think this is going to affect traffic that much here. Then bring this up, connect it like that. Because there just isn't that much road traffic on this road. So I don't think that's going to affect things too much. So then we're coming down here. I could even add another stop here if I wanted. I have had a miserable time trying to get it through this sunken rail here. So I'm just bypassing this road network altogether. Have another stop here. So this is a commercial center, residential over here. And then we have this nice triangular intersection. So the routes will go boom, boom, or boom, boom. It'll be fine. They won't be crossing over each other. And then thread it through here along the track here. Now, why did I forget? What is going on here? Looks like I forgot. I could have sworn I thought I remembered to connect all that in. So this is just going to connect back in over here, I think, is the best way to do this. We could go for a nice scenic journey along the coast, and then I would impact fewer neighborhoods. I thought I had that fixed before I turned all this back on. Why does it do that? Okay, so if we go here, here, seriously? What? This is always annoying when we have these conflicts. Okay, what's going on here? This shouldn't be an issue. What? Oh! Hello, I'm on the wrong track. Okay, now. want to impact these neighborhoods as minimally as I can. So I think if I come, see, this noise is going to come all the way through here. Boom. Come on. No. There we go. No. Okay. And then sharp turn. Here we go. Sharp turn. And we're going to come parallel this road. Yes. Except I need to bring it out a little bit further. Oh. Right here. Then here without busting that path. Then can we, yeah, oh, we had it. There we go. Hey, so now it'll complete the circuit coming back to this station. So I'm going to sign off here, but we'll have two big circular loops that will connect all of these monorail stations together across these neighborhoods, and they'll, one will run clockwise, one will run counterclockwise, and that will allow us to have more than sufficient coverage by vehicles. And then I'll knit the neighborhoods together with bus routes that connect up at each station, and it'll be beautiful to look at. Have a wonderful evening. This is Hubbub signing off.